Good morning, everyone. We are the Empire of Mali. As you can see, the Empire of Mali is vast and glorious. We have spent a considerable amount of time. It is 11:51, so not actually as long as you might think, but building up our nice, vast Malian Empire. We are doing this because we are looking to get the achievement for starting as a tiny, tiny bit over here and turning the whole of Africa into one faith. In this case, Bori, and a reformed faith at that. Now, we don't actually have to conquer the whole of Africa to do this. We just need the whole of Africa to be one religion. But conquering it does bring certain advantages, because it actually allows us to take this decision, Unite Africa, which would gain us a bunch of stuff, but it would also give a 33% chance of converting everyone to Bori. Now, we don't necessarily need that, because when we reformed our religion, we reformed it in such a way that would make it spread nicely and would give our vassals the ability to spread it easily. So actually, we're fine. I suspect we will get this achievement without conquering the whole of Africa. But we might, just as a minor stretch goal on it, just finish off the conquest of the whole of Africa anyway. Because it'd be just quite nice to take that decision and see what the outcomes are of it, I think. So actually, if all goes to plan, touch wood, I am touching my nice desk. This actually shouldn't take us terribly long to do. The actual kind of conquer the whole of Africa might take a bit longer, because we'll need to take out Adjura in here, and that means multiple wars. But we do just need to kind of pick these off and really just keep the Empire of Mali together while we do it. We are currently 48, but if I remember, we actually have a beautiful genius daughter. So she is about to come of age, so we're actually not too badly off. So if we die, then Celavi, we can actually still do things. We should be alright. So, as usual, we have a bunch of alliances we can negotiate, which is always useful. The reason we can negotiate these, I think, is because we took the extra dip perk and just haven't cashed it in yet. We did, defensive negotiations. The reason I haven't cashed that in is because actually, if one of these factions gets too strong, say that Liberty faction, what we might be able to do is persuade one of these people to take a defensive alliance, in which case they will drop out of the contributing levels. So I'm actually using it as a kind of backup. As some of you may know, we have essentially collapsed the Byzantine Empire. We did that by forcing their heir to convert to Bori, and then he inherited and it all fell apart. Technically speaking, it does still exist. It's this. It's not really the big empire it was. It is still technically Bori as well. So we could, if we really wanted to, turn around and kind of take it back. We could conquer that, but, you know, Celavi. Have we used our Kingdom Wars? This is a good question. I can't remember. I think we may well have done. Yeah, we've used our Kingdom Wars, I think. Which is fine, you know. So, yeah, if we're going after Adjuran, we may actually want to do it relatively soon. Yeah, Rasko's going to lose his war, I think. But who's he actually fighting against? He's just fighting a de jure war for the Principality of Yedizan, which is up there, so... To be honest, we've kind of collapsed the Byzantine Empire hugely. If we wanted to take it back, we would. Who controls Byzantium these days? It's just a count. We could take Byzantium if we wanted to. Just literally just rock over there and take it. We could actually take that and then set up our own puppet empire. Yeah, you get a whole bunch of bonuses for holding Constantinople. Like, Constantinople is pretty filth. Like, the Theodosian walls, like, garrison size boost, levy size plus 300%, all of that kind of stuff. It all kicks in. John M. Mill, thank you very much for the follow. That is appreciated. Very much appreciated. I tip my invisible Panama hat to you. Amy190, I missed your follow as well. Thank you very much for the follow. Again, appreciated. So yeah, so you've got levy size there that we could kind of kick in. Right. So we've got bits of rebellion. We should double check that we actually have. So we've got 16 months left on that conversion. Someone remind me in 16 months that we've got a conversion finishing. Because we do need to keep just doing our manual conversions where we need to do them. We do need to deal with these Ashari rulers up here, but I'm not that fussed about it. We can deal with it, so it's not too bad. Well, hey, well, welcome to Twitch. Welcome to watching on Twitch. Welcome to our general CK3 childhood murder simulator. So these ones we can mop up. I believe we might have some truces that we need to worry about, though, because I think we had already done some mopping up around here. But let's see who we can declare war on and who we can't. I don't really want to go after Ajuran yet, because they are actually converting, because they are Bori. So I kind of feel like we should just let them get on with it, and then we'll go after them in the end game, so to speak. Hobbio here, do we have a truce with you? We do. Hurrah, do we have a truce with you? We do not. Do you have any decent allies? No. Right, let's mop up Hurrah. Hurrah! Annoyingly, I think this is another one where actually... Oh, we still technically can holy... I think the problem is we can't holy war for Ajuran, because they're of a different they're of our religion. So I think we do technically still have our holy war. So we could do a holy war for Hurrah. Seems a bit of a waste, though. What I'd almost rather do is just take it county by county. It's not going to take us that long. Yeah, but we do have to warn them if we want to... They're defending against Sarkina Gadi Nemesis. They are defending against one of our vassals. What we could do is just make sure we go for the other one. So that's the war for the Duchy of Moria, which I assume will be that territory. Yeah, so they're going for city. So actually, if we go for the other one, we might actually two birds, one stone there. So actually, if we just war for that county, I think we'll be fine. And it actually means we can kind of help them out to win their war. I suspect we can get away with doing this with just men-at-arms. Because we do kind of want to make sure we've got a nice healthy pot just in case we have to inherit. If we're lucky, these guys will gather before they lose that siege. They should do. Right, let's go help them out a bit. Come here. We just want to talk. Got a valuable hostage, always nice. Right, we want to get on this before anyone else does, because that's obviously the territory we're going for. They're walking away, so I am actually tempted to swipe at that army. Let's just raise some levies to just swipe at that army. We only need enough to crush them. Right, that's plenty. Right, you chaps wander over there and deal with them for us. We'll respect his privacy. We'll give him chine. A dramatic scene unfolds in my audience chamber as my vassal Sarkin Hargani accuses Mamadi, the son of my vassal Sariuna Nana, of impregnating his daughter out of wedlock. How very EastEnders. Probably need him to give him the justice he requires, because he is one of our powerful vassals. Oh, he's arranged a little weekend break. That's nice. That's nice. Dorama comes of age. Did she get a decent trait? With her coming of age, my tuition of Dorama is at an end. With sufficient tutelage, even a child that has displayed little natural inclination towards administration, such as Dorama, can come to truly understand it. Not content with understanding the flow of wealth and people, she seems capable of predicting it as if it was by instinct. She always finds new ways of profiting too. So there you go. So that's good, because what I wanted to demonstrate with that is, I remember, like, if you remember the discussion, some of you had been here last week when people were asking about how you give kids good educations. And I mentioned then that actually what really matters in CK3 is different from what mattered in CK2. And what really matters is that you want to make sure that whoever is educating your kid has a genius trait. Doesn't actually matter what level of that they've got. It won't contribute to the ultimate level that the kid gets. What matters is, are they intelligent? How intelligent are they? How intelligent is the kid? And what do you set the kid's focus as? Which is how we've ended up with a Midas-touched daughter. Even though she was not naturally inclined to that, her natural inclination was, if I remember, to warfare and spying. So despite that, we've still ended up with a Midas-touched genius daughter, because that trait and that trait overpowered all of the other things. So if you're playing this game and trying to educate your kids well, what really matters is what education focus you give them, and that you give them someone genius. If you can find a genius to educate them, just give them the genius to educate them. Doesn't matter if they've got a different one of these or anything, just give them the genius. Which is very different to CK2, and I think a lot of people don't realise that. I really think a lot of people don't realise that. They assume it still works the same way CK2 did, and it's a completely different mechanism. And actually far easier to cheese if you know what you're doing, because you just make sure you've got geniuses. Well, to be fair, we've only used that same description for the last 4 months, so you know you're not doing badly there if you've just got the Hausa party fun joke batch propagate. It is, of course, for anyone else who hasn't got it, because we are Hausa. We started as Hausa and we have stayed Hausa. Well, we stayed Hausa with a brief flirtation with Andalusian, so that we could go feudal nice and early. Which, again, if you're trying to do this run, I highly recommend. You want to be feudal as quickly as possible. So that's why we own a tiny bit of Spain up here, was because we could then move our capital here, convert to Andalusian, and then flip it back to its natural capital down here. But it meant we could then turn feudal and then flip back to being Hausa again instantly. So it was quite handy as a way of doing it. So yeah, I can't remember which episode we did that in. Yes, the character traits. So these very much do often reflect the traits of the Guardian. Well, depends. So if you're giving them to a character that you don't control to educate, you want to think very carefully about what traits that person has, because when the AI gets the events, it will bias towards giving them the traits that it has personally. So if you're trying to find, if you find a genius, if you've got multiple geniuses or intelligent people to choose from, pick ones with traits that you wouldn't mind having.
Good morning.
Decorat, thank you very much for the resubscription. That is very much appreciated. 6 months. 6 months. Good stuff. If you're controlling them yourselves, obviously you have a bit more leeway, but that what you really does mean is you will get a choice between this trait or one of the adjacent traits, and then you get the stress gain if you do it. And that's true if you're the playing as the child or whether you're the parent of the child, i.e. it's your player character. But yeah, so if you're picking a genius you don't control, be aware that they will get the traits. That can sometimes be an advantage. Luna Wolf _ thank you very much for the subscription. 8 months. We have almost had a Twitch baby. Almost had a Twitch baby. Yeah, so actually I've got a run going off stream, and I may, depending on how quickly we do this, I may actually pick it up on stream just to show you what I'm up to off stream. But if you need to breed traits into your line, or you want to give yourself traits that aren't there, find people who don't have them and get them to educate you. So, for example, not in this run, but in another run I'm looking for, I need to get cynical into my line. So I will be looking at some point to educate a kid so that they get the cynical trait. So yeah, a genius with, if they're going to be a ruler, I'd say actually the traits that we've got here are pretty good. So if you look at here, she's got a stonkingly high stewardship of 25, which is incredibly useful and a really good intrigue. And actually, ambitious is by far one of the best traits you can get in the game as a ruler, I think. Yeah, hiring a physician can be really useful because it's a handy way of just, you can actually use, so for example, we haven't actually called for a physician. Physicians can be a really handy way of just kind of getting good people into your court as well. You don't have to necessarily hire them as a physician, you can just get them into your court. So, it's quite a handy way of just giving yourself a guest event. But ambitious is really good. In this instance, sadistic isn't quite handy for us because we can kill our children. Paranoid is not the end of the world because it actually gives us an intrigue boost. But actually what I'd really like is something like diligent or whatever. But remember, that's because my style of play is very much that I like to have a relatively large domain. And actually you can see from this that we're getting a good style of domain. As a final note on domain, as we're talking game mechanics here, you'll notice on here that my stewardship is giving me +5 domain. And this is actually really handy because it's a really obvious way to show it. You get +1 domain for every 5 stewardship you have. So if you're sitting there thinking, right, I need to increase my domain by X because you need to get a certain amount of whatever. So she will have exactly the same domain limit +5 as we have currently got. If you look at our playing character, she's got 27, and you'll see that she still gets domain limit +5 because we would need her to have +30 before we'd get another domain slot. So if you're trying to work out the mechanics, if you've got a new ruler and you're like, oh no, I'm now over my domain limit, how do I keep it, how do I do it, who do I need to marry, who do I need to do whatever, you think about this. So for example, he's got a stewardship of 5. If we were to flip him off of court intrigue, which he's actually giving us a big boost on, to manage domain, he'd give us half rounded down of what his domain is, which is only going to give us +2, which means that even with our 27, that would only flip us to 29, so we wouldn't get another domain slot. We would need to marry someone with a domain of a stewardship of at least 6 to be able to boost our domain by 1. So it's something that's really useful to be aware of in the context of when you're particularly early on in the game, when you've got marginal rulers and you haven't managed to breed in good traits, and you're kind of like, I need to get a big domain quickly because it gives me lots of control and it gives me lots of money and it gives me lots of levies. Is you really want to be optimizing your stewardship trait, and you can either do that in person or by marriages, but make sure and remember your marriages you only get half a contribution, and you always want to be thinking in increments of 5. So there you go, that's my quick tutorials on how educating children works and how manage works. The only downside I've found is stress events with a fair balance. Yeah, ambitious gives you a bunch of stress, like you get stress gain plus 25% off of that. Paranoid, I wouldn't normally take paranoid as well as ambitious, but we didn't have much better choices in this particular instance. And yeah, you can kind of counter the stress events. The other thing is it does mean you can kind of get you to a position where you can stress yourself to death relatively easily. So one thing we could do, for example, if we wanted to get her on the throne quickly, is we would just stress ourselves to death, and the easiest way to do that would actually be to give away some domain, because we'd get huge stress for doing it because we're ambitious. Yeah, well, and also it depends on what you want in a spouse. So, for example, we actually married this dude because he was Herculean. Now, in the end, that didn't work out for us. But it might have done. It might have worked out for us. So it was worth doing. And we didn't need the domain boost. He also had very nice intrigue, which was very useful for us because it's meant we can plot to kill people. Anyway, let's carry on with our Wars of Conquest. Honestly, like I am always happy to answer questions about the mechanics of CK3, EU4, in EU4 in particular as well. Those are two games I know like the back of my hand. I'm relatively decent at Hearts of Iron, but I'm not a big min-maxer on Hearts of Iron for World War II-ness, so things like what's the best unit compositions and not Well, whatever. I stick to my 20 width and my 40 width, and that's it. Right. We have conquered that. I assume she's... Oh, no, actually. I think because we murdered that, we killed the other war. If we killed the other war... that probably means we can actually go after them. Oh, no, technically we get a truce. I think. Yeah. So we could either murder them or accept that Ifat's probably going to go after them again and win. 94 troops, 643. Yeah, you've got to assume that she's going to go after them again. So we'll let that one slide. There's no rush on that. Paranoid's better than trusting or fickle. Yeah, it absolutely is. Which is why we've got it. It's not one of my favourite traits in any way, shape or form. But it is absolutely better than trusting. Trusting is a great thing to build into another member of your line that you may have to kill at some point. It's not a good thing to educate into someone that is actually planned to be your ruler, because there'll just be not much there to go. Yes, Alexander did indeed weep, for there was not much left to conquer. I don't think we got a truce with these guys. So we could go for that one. Oh, hasn't he got another territory? Oh, he's got the... We're not sure whether we need that. I don't know whether that counts as region of Africa. We should probably start that war anyway, just on the basis that we might need it. Yeah, trusting is a really good way to find yourself on the end of a murder plot. I mean, you get boosted defenses if you're an emperor and stuff like that, but yeah. It's why my default thing to try and get a spouse to boost is generally intrigue. We don't need it. That's useful to know. I really wish there was a regions map mode. I have no idea why they haven't added a regions map mode, given that a whole bunch of the actual achievements kind of specify region control as a thing. It's utterly ridiculous. Right, let's deal with this dude. Let's get ourselves some Mogadishu. Because foreign powers attempting to take control of Mogadishu has never gone wrong. How many troops has he got? I didn't actually look. Oh, he's got quite a big mate. So we will actually need to raise a decent sized army. Isn't he? Is he a rival religion? Or is he Bori? He's a rival religion, so actually we can just call in the Holy Order. Where are we raising you? Let's raise this user at a safe distance, just in case. Right, raise all men at arms. Then raise me a few levies. And we'll get our possessed. Why can't I hire the possessed? Have we technically hired them already? Oh, it's because I haven't technically dismissed. I really hate this because there's no hire button on there to say, yes, raise the Holy Order that you have already done. Yeah, the island, well, I'm holding off on, if I can avoid doing the island, I will hold off, because it's actually a thing that I quite like the idea of doing a run with at some point, but I'm not. So, did we get any good, interesting people from this? Well, she's a 42-year-old with 20 learning, which is quite useful. And she's not. So actually, if we send her a gift, she might join the court anyway. Well, no, not quite. But we can actually marry her to a courtier, I suspect. So now she's going to join our court. Find having a spouse that's good at learning is very good. It gives very good stat results when educating your children. It can. It's what I'd say is your backup to genius. It does give more events, so you're going to get, generally speaking, better events. But I honestly would say always bias where you can towards. We're going to go meritocracy because we'd like to get the loyalty stuff. Right, we're going to do this the old-fashioned way. So that is enough levies. And we'll just wait for our men-at-arms to finish. Because I'm not actually sure where his other people are coming from. Good morning, Troutbridge. Welcome to the stream. Let's go siege down Mogadishu and then we'll go deal with the other one. Where's his ally? Do we know? Who's he allied with? Oh, that guy. That dude over there. Right, so his troops will probably turn up over there, but that's fine. That is not a problem. Can call a hunt, host a feast. Don't need to do either. We're just stashing cash at the moment, which is... If we do have to do a... an air, we're fine. Yeah, whatever. The other thing that is really useful, and if you remember, we did it early on in this run, is if you're starting as a tribal culture, marrying someone with high learning is incredibly useful, because you can use it to boost your own learning, which then gets you more, unlocks stuff faster if you're already ahead of your culture. So if you start as a tribal culture, and you're desperately trying to push early on, I highly recommend marrying someone with high learning, making sure you're the head of culture, and then in perk terms, just pick up scientific. Like, you don't need to pick up anything else on that track. What you can actually do is pick up scientific and pedagogics. It's going to be useful for raising your kids. And then if you want, just flip straight off again after that. But cultural fascination progress plus 35% is really, really useful. Laura and FXRH, thank you very much for the reminder that my conversion is finished. So let us... Now remember, we technically don't need to worry about old Bori other than it looking not very pretty. Oh, good news, our vassal has converted the last bit of Bori over there. Now, we know that these are our last two remaining Ashari vassals, so I kind of think we want to convert that. Because that bit we gave to someone to convert for us. I think we're going to have a go at converting that, which takes 3 years, but we'll see. Well, it's one of the reasons why we set our religion up the way we did, is to make it relatively easy and advantageous to our vassals for them to convert places. We'll let that slide, because we pretty much always let stuff slide. I don't really need a consort. I'm fine, thanks. But yeah, that is an interesting little place. As I think Tom mentioned. Or Tommy. And actually it's one that I do plan to do a run with at some point. We actually don't have a physician. I'd rather have him in my pocket. No. No. Right, he's going down there to try and liberate that with a small force, so I'm tempted to actually split that off. It's a bit of a gamble, but I think it's worthwhile. Because I have a feeling that we won't finish that siege before we finish that siege. We have discovered hereditary rule. We're now doing men-at-arms, which is quite useful. In fact, I think we were doing men-at-arms already, but we were... we've just naturally picked up hereditary rule, because I suspect it's one of the last ones on here that we didn't have. Yeah. So that should help. And assuming that we don't get that siege disrupted, 54 days left, we'll bring the army back just in case his big fat mate turns up. Yeah, well that's it. That's why I think it'd be a fun run to do at some point. We just need to think about how we'd make that historically interesting. I mean, like, what could we do with the Druze cultures type stuff that would have been interesting? It's also one where I kind of fancy that as a... once they do the cultural mechanics, I think it'd be interesting. Right, that is another territory down. How are we looking on these places? I feel like these people should really be prepared to swear fealty to me, but aren't. Like, why won't you swear fealty? -10. What do you mean I'm not her rightful liege? I suppose because I'm the Empire of Mali, aren't I? And I'm not... that isn't that empire. What is the empire over that way? Have we not created the Empire of Abyssinia? Welcome to the Empire. Don't think there's anything else worth doing. The reason we don't create a lot of these is, okay, it means we're over our vassal limit at the moment, but we're not hugely over. And it means we can... they're essentially a prestige bank for our daughter. So she could very quickly create a whole bunch of titles which would instantly give her a ton of prestige when she took over, if necessary. So... you are the only person around there who does not swear fealty to me. And you are losing a war against Galadima Kinkin of Shamira, who is in my realm, so that territory should come into Mali shortly. So realistically... yeah, I mean, weirdly, I think we'd actually use it to go do something interesting in India. Potentially. Because that would be quite interesting to do. Right. So I think we've got truces with these people, haven't we? We do not have a truce with him. So let's deal with Berberia. Yeah, no big friends. Give me a county. Problem is I'm declaring wars too quickly for the Holy Order to expire. That needs to go to a Bori ruler. We want Bori and Hausa. Houses, Bori, not ruler. You'll do. Transfer that. We only need men-at-arms for this one. Who's raiding me? No one should be raiding me. Yeah, fine. Have your people back. Right, let's go murder them. Hello, it's us. Oh, did I miss a histofact reclamation? Histofact. Julius Caesar was nowhere near as good a general as he made himself out to be. He's a very good organizer, but he wasn't a particularly good general. Certainly he wasn't the greatest general of his age, as he tried to pretend. The greatest general of his age was Gnaeus Magnaeus Pompeius. Or Gnaeus Pompeius. Magnus. The clue's in the Magnus bit. Who was the guy who he, in inverted commas, defeated in the Roman Civil War. Except he didn't really defeat him. He beat him in one battle at Pharsalus, which was a pretty big battle, but technically Pompey didn't actually have to fight Pharsalus. He mainly fought it because he could have let Caesar kind of have to straggle back to Italy, but it would have taken him through all the territory of Pompey's allies, and Pompey was a bit of a nice guy for Romans, and he felt that as his allies had turned out for him, he at least should have had the decency of trying to knock Caesar off there and then. So he had a go at it. Now he actually lost Pharsalus, which actually was a very good win for Caesar. It was one of the few times when Caesar was legitimately smart in how he did his battles. And Pompey fled to Egypt, and Egypt was the area he himself had added to the Roman Empire and helped young Ptolemy, to get that throne. So he assumed that young Ptolemy, being about an 11-year-old kid, would be very grateful for his help and allow him to kind of rest there for a bit and then go back to Italy and carry on the war. Except it turns out that young Ptolemy was a bit of a fucking idiot and had advisors who were a bit of fucking idiots. And what they did was they actually killed Pompey before he could get ashore. They bombarded his little rowboat as he came in with arrows and killed him. Which didn't just piss off the Republican side of the Roman army, of the Roman Civil War, but obviously instantly massively pissed off Julius Caesar as well, because he actually quite liked Pompey. He was his former brother-in-law. Pompey had got Caesar started. Him and Crassus had got Caesar started in career terms. And Pompey had married Julius Caesar's sister, Julia, and it was a political marriage that turned out to be one of the great love matches of Roman history. Like, they absolutely adored each other. And the Civil War essentially kicked off, or the path for it kicks off with the death of Julia. But yeah, long story short, Ptolemy kills Pompey, and with that, at that point, Caesar is a better general than anyone else the Republicans can muster, and he eventually manages to individually defeat all of Pompey's former lieutenants over a period of time. But yeah, he's only really the greatest general in his... He proves the whole principle that if you want to be seen as the greatest general, make damn sure you're the person who writes the history. Pompey almost gets entirely written out of kind of popular Roman history because of that. But, I mean, the guy, in terms of areas added to the empire by Pompey, Caesar did that bit, Pompey did that bit, that bit, that bit, that bit, that bit, and that bit, and cleared all the Mediterranean of pirates. Oh, and that bit. Conquered Jerusalem and all the territory around there, and Egypt. So, you know, if you're going based on results. Hello, Biff. Welcome to the stream if you've not watched before. Right, who do we have truces left with? Have any of these expired in the time I've been blabbing on? That one has, so we can finally mop that up as well. Is that one province? I think it is. Oh, we can usurp the Kingdom of Ajuran. Interesting. They are both the same duchy. This is good. Oh, Labienus is a brilliant general. Yeah, no, absolutely right, Alice. He was on Pompey's side. Labienus is the person who comes closest to beating Caesar. After Pompey's death. And again, actually, even if you read Caesar's memoirs, like you get, even he struggles to disguise how much fucking luck he had in his African campaigns. Like, Caesar is the where Caesar is something that is in some ways better than being a good general. He's an incredibly lucky general. And ultimately, sometimes being a lucky general is being better than being a good general. How many troops has this guy got? We can beat him with men-at-arms. He's not so much erased from history. He's erased from the popular narrative of history. So if your average school kid will vaguely know him at all as the guy that Pompey beat, the guy that Caesar beat, if at all. And if you watch any kind of TV show or anything that is set in that period, it's why I really wanted to like the Rome TV show but couldn't, because what those shows have a habit of doing is, because they naturally follow the kind of the primary narrative, you just get this kind of thing of Caesar being this all-powerful figure when he really wasn't. You're absolutely right, Tommy Ancient. Caesar was a far better politician. Oh no, we've got a serial killer. Who do we reckon is the serial killer? Right, we will launch the investigation. Not at all, Biff. Ask away. It's fine. Feel free to ask questions. No, Caesar is the better politician, but it's worth noting that ultimately Caesar is done in by his own hubris in terms of losing and getting assassinated. But oh shit, she got the Byzantine throne back. Go Dei. Good work. Good work, Dei. Absolutely will help you out. We will totally help you out in that. And we'll help you out in that one. What was I saying? Yeah, just a final note on Caesarness. It's worth noting that after Caesar's death, when Octavian eventually manages to take full control of the empire and declare himself emperor, the single consul model he uses as his kind of imperator model as emperor is actually entirely based on it's entirely based on the principle of what Pompey set up. It's not in any way based on what Caesar set up. Which is big. Ill and Ancient, thank you very much for follow. No, Biff, you're just being very emo. If you ask your questions, I will happily answer you them. Yeah, I mean, or continue complaining and get blocked. I mean, it's entirely up to you. Right. So we need to help our Basileus. Yeah, it's kind of but Pompey himself based his system on Sulla's system. So essentially what he took was the best bits that Sulla did right, which was the initial, well, from a single ruler perspective, which was the dictatorship setup. But then he took in on board what Pompey had kind of done in his brief period of kind of single consulship, which was the elements that made the Senate not hate him. So he worked out he worked out how to kind of turn around and kind of take it so that it was like not offensive to the Senate, which was a big thing. Tended to not get you murdered. Right, so we are theoretically now at war. What does she need help in most? So she's defending against Salerno, which is 3,800 troops. She's defending against... Yeah, that guy's gone. As with Twitter, I have zero time for people who want to sit there and be entitled and emo. Like, chat is for funness, not for anything else. I think that's what you find. Is I'm always the same. It's why I'm always amazed with some of my history threads when I go like, doesn't everyone not know this? And then you discover actually how poor history teaching is at most sort of school levels. Which is understandable. It has to do the highlights. It can't do everything. Right, we should probably help her with the Salerno one first, because that's the one she's kind of losing, whereas she's pretty much definitely winning that one. So let's... It's probably quicker for us to just disband our... Oh, we've disbanded them already. That's quite handy. So let's move our rally point back up somewhere more useful. And we can probably do... Oh, just to explain, by the way, because I know I do these separately. The reason I raise these separately is because I don't want to raise all 29,000 of my forces. But I also want to make sure I raise all of my men-at-arms. So I'm raising all my men-at-arms. And then I'm going, right, I want to raise an additional support force for my men-at-arms. In this case, let's say about 3,000 troops, because then we know we'll definitely overpower whatever she can throw at us. So what I then do is hold down Control and click Raise All here. And that means I've actually got 2 stacks raising there. I've got 1 stack, which is the men-at-arms, which I can just let raise. And the other stack I can just then stop raising when it hits a level that I want. So once that stack hits, like here, like 3,000, I can now go stop. And now I've raised a fraction of my forces, but I'll have raised all of my men-at-arms. Yeah, in Poland, history teaching is focused mainly on antiquity, history of Poland and World War II. To be honest, that's the same in any country. Every country's history teaching is obviously naturally biased towards their own things. It's why you get this ridiculous, which is... And now you've got the backlash against it, rightly. This ridiculous bias in UK history towards World War II. And just not really a focus on things like history of slavery and everything else. And I don't want to get too deep in chat. I mean, ultimately it's a fun stream, but it's why, as a historian, I get infuriated at people moaning about sort of wokeness and things. It's like, it's not. It's just that these are areas of history you weren't taught. That's all. For Sweden, it's ancient Greek, Stone Age, Vikings, 30 Years War, no news. Yeah, one of my favourite museums in the world is the Army Museum in Stockholm. Oh crap, did I accidentally just not raise my... That's really annoying. Never merge the 2 forces until you've actually finished raising. Yeah, it's the Army Museum in Stockholm. I absolutely love it because each floor is kind of a different era, and you kind of get the real kind of look at Swedish history. And then you get that World War II floor, which is kind of like, yeah, stuff happened. No, we'll just move past that quickly. I don't really need a county. Don't really want it to lose opinion. Right, we'll do that. Right, we do have a dangerous faction. That is the Liberty faction. We could beat them, but far easier, given that he is going to be contributing a significant percentage of the troops. Oh, sorry, wrong one. Let's have a look. Who's contributing that? So you got 27% there, and you got 26% there. Right, her, we probably can just make like us. Her, can we actually just marry into her? Our son's actually pretty decent, to be honest. I think there's anyone really there we want to marry off, though. I mean, we could arguably deal with the lower ones. Let's see if we can knock some people out with a bit of a judicious application of gold, and then let's get our dread up. Yeah, well, I mean, I think in any country, history is always based on an element of exceptionalism. It's just the natural way at school that kind of history gets taught. A weird, interesting way of doing that. It's one of the reasons I absolutely love going to naval museums. I'm an absolute addict of going to naval museums in whatever countries I'm in, because naval museums tend to fall into two areas. You tend to either find, you can tell very quickly whether a country has a history of trade or a history of war by how their naval museum is. And they're always absolutely fascinating to go to. Right. Let's make everyone here like us a bit more. So I can really do with not fighting a liberty war while we're doing other things. Then let's kill some people, because that'll get our dread up. Because I'm guessing our dread has subsided a fair bit. Yeah, we've only got 48 dread. So let's just kill some random people. Goodbye. Goodbye. There we go. So we're back up to 100 dread. So let's see if that Liberty faction now disappears while we're waiting for those troops to kick in. I would expect to see a whole chunk of people drop out of that Liberty faction at the end of the month now. So let's just watch that. I will bring my knowledge to bear on the case. Did we actually... This is going to blatantly turn out to be our daughter, by the way. Chat, I've finished converting and you didn't tell me. Let's convert there. Your job, chat, is to tell me when I can convert places. Oh, if he's finished in Bori, I think that means we can build our next level of gold mine. Where was it that we weren't able to build our gold mine? Because it was the wrong... Was it Bamberg? There we go. Sorted. So let's watch this. Come on, drop out. You know you want to. We had a few dropouts. There we go. We're starting to get some dropouts now. Down to 12. Anyone else want to drop out? That will help. Oh, our troops have probably raised, haven't they? Not quite. Commander Faceless, hello. Yeah, no, I do watch Mordred a lot. And I did the I was one of the commentators on his NC run when we dual streamed it. Rescues Greyhounds, thank you very much for the follows. Yeah, no, I really like Mordred. If you don't follow Mordred and you like World War II stuff, follow Mordred. He's a Kaiserreich run at the moment. It's really fun. I'm really tempted to do a Kaiserreich stream at some point. Mordred is the absolute master of naval combat in Hearts of Iron 3. If you need to know how to play Hearts of Iron 3 properly, that is the one for you. Right, how are we looking? So there you go. So you can see actually, in faction terms, they're now just below the bit they need to. Now, I don't particularly like them only just being below, so I do think we want to see if we can knock someone else out of this. The issue is it's going to require a marriage, and I'm not convinced we can do it. Or a sudden death. Might not be a bad idea to kill her. Because that would fragment a lot of her stuff and really ruin her day. Good morning, Pangolin. Thank you for joining us. Let's go for a bit of a stabby. Because if we can just fragment some of their title claims, then that would deal with her. Right, we're helping the Basileus win some wars, aren't we? Or attempting to. Yeah, become a witch. I might actually just send our troops in. Because they should win anyway. I know we're waiting on the men-at-arms because they'll be good for sieges, but... Oh, dude. Dude. Have you not noticed what tends to happen to people who use their weak hooks to get themselves onto my council? Right, so the plot got discovered, but we've still got a reasonable chance, especially if we can get someone else to come in on this. So I think we still push forward with that. Oh, someone gave me some free money. Yeah, you better run. We should probably give that army a better general than it's got, though. Yeah, there's not really much there we can give them. Are you sure you don't have an army down in the southeast? I shouldn't do. I do. Why do I have an army down here? Oh, because I started a war. I completely forgot I started a war. Let's go win this war as well. Thank you for the reminder. I'm not taking a random person from your court. It's an easy way to get assassinated. Oh yeah, telling your wife she can't read books is a very, very easy way. Ooh, Gain's not feeling well. We don't have any infant children, so it's not any of our own children that are going to die, so that should be fine. Right. Where are you going with that army? Because I think I feel like we just need to smack them around a bit. Don't think those two guys are really going to do much use. This is our smacky army. Parts of a body were found this morning, my lady. My court physician Cisse says, gesturing to a small table before us. Blood pools on the table around small mounds of flesh. Strings of tissue rest in dark ooze. As you can see, it is not a whole human. Not enough to identify them. Double the guards! A letter is waiting for me as I return to my chambers, written in red ink, no in blood. For the sake of the kingdom, you will stop this search. I have lived my whole life right under your nose, and still you are so blind. To uncover my identity would only bring you pain. This handwriting looks almost like it might be Madagaja Barikisa. No way! Essentially our Pope is a secret serial killer. The head of our church is a secret serial killer. Wait, I mean, she's our kind of head of faith. She's not our head of faith, she is our court faith. I think, technically, did we give ourselves a head of faith? I can't remember. Yeah, we did. She's over there, though, so it's, yeah, she's not technically the head of faith. I mean, we'll go with... I think these murderers will remain untold. She might be a secret lemonade drinker as well. We don't know. We do not know. We're still trying to chase... Do we know where that army ended up? Okay, they're going over there. Go kill that. I find my departed husband, Sarkin Sarakuna Amar, strung up outside my castle. His body is cold, pale and unmoving. But what's is that? A small note has been tucked into the fold of his clothes. This is my last victim. My last gift to you, Sarayuna Seer. But do not fear. I will still be around, watching you. Creepy. Right, we should win that nicely. Good news is she's got decent-sized armies now. Oh, shit. We could have done with a spouse before we kick this off. Because that's just tanked our intrigue. Oh, well, we'll give it a go anyway. Sarayuna Diemba is dead, beaten, trampled by her own subjects. The agitated peasants went wild seeing their liege riding through the streets and tore both her and several of her champions from their mounts, beating them to death. Many peasants were hanged, including my agitators, which means it cannot be traced back to me. Never underestimate the power of the mob. Right. It is probably we do want a husband, and we do want arguably someone with decent intrigue. Congratulations, you're my new husband. He looks as confused about it as anyone. He's like, I am? Wait, what? Send gift. Really reckon you should convert. Sarkin Gadia Shaki. Old pal. How you doing? How you enjoying being my how you enjoying being my chancellor there, Shaki? It's working out well for you? No, we kill the person who forced themselves onto my council first. Give over? What do you think I'm doing down here? Fucking Basileus. Like, I've literally just won that war for you and you're bitching about it. It's one of those short-term career benefits rather than a long-term career benefit. I see they've tried to win that battle again, which hasn't worked out well for them. Right, that war we can enforce. Which means we have another territory we need to give away. So that can go to... Congrats. We can usurp that kingdom, so we should. We are only holding 3 duchies, so that's fine. How are we looking on conversions? 2 years left before Murder Priest finishes converting. Oh no. That's just rude. That's just rude. Oh, it's all right in terms of the faith, but in terms of border gore, that's just going to bug me. Hello, duck chickens. So we don't have to conquer Africa, but I want it nice and yellow. And then what we can do is, because I've legitimately never taken that decision, so I just quite the idea of just seeing what the flavor text is for it. So that is kind of our semi-stretch goal, is to just do that. It's her capital as well. She won't lose it though, because it's her capital. What we need to do is persuade her to take Constantinople back. But she won't. Holy War for County of Apulia. Right. So we've won that one for you. This one is going up against that dude. So let's go siege down his capital. Meanwhile, you guys can disband. Can we go after the littlest Hobio yet? Oh, we can't because we've got raised armies. Right, one war down. Someone's shagging my son. Right, the good news is this war should end relatively quickly now. Because he's losing troops at an obscene rate up there, and we're about to take his capital. I mean, the other thing we could do... So she's our granddaughter. And she's not bad. She's not of our dynasty. What if we married... What if he was to die unexpectedly in an accident? See, he is of our dynasty. Have they just got a regular marriage? So their kids will be of our dynasty. Because those ones are already of our dynasty. So the moment she pops out a Sprog... her heir will be of our dynasty. At which point, if it comes down to it, we could then actually claim the title. Right, let's win this war. So basically at that point we can, if we need to or want to, we can get that back. I like that this one dude is chasing that army. Be easier if we had a siege train for this, but we don't. No, she's not. Oh, she is though. We should be able to press that. Claim title. We could claim the Byzantine Empire because she is of our dynasty. But we don't want to because we want to keep pressing these claims. We've got options basically. We might as well continue to mop up these bits first. The poison did its job and Sarkin Gadi Ishak is no more. Even better, in his death throes a bone got stuck in Sarkin Gadi Ishaki's throat. Now it's unclear what killed him. It must have been something he ate. How are we looking on conversions? 18 months. Chat, remind me in 18 months. Chancellor, we will actually give her the thing. She's been after it for ages, so go for it. Have fun. Right, that war's over. Councillor opinion, plus 20. We will go down that track next. Right. How are we looking in faiths? How is that a baddie again? Have you got a baddie ruler? You shouldn't have. Motherfucker. I almost just want to revoke it. Like, we could fabricate a hook on him and revoke it. He won't convert, but let's ask anyway. He will convert. And now he needs to die because he's got a favour hook on me. And he converted that place. Anyone want in? Our murder priest does. I'm hoping his air converted. Yeah. Everyone up here should be Bori. Because we gave all that territory to Bori people. This is our other annoying vassal. I don't think the game will run that long, so we should be fine. He actually quite likes me. He's Bori now, so he will convert that naturally. What about you? You're Bori. We finally got a Bori ruler in charge of this, so actually, although we're converting that, he will try and convert these now, so that's great news. So they will now naturally convert. So what we do need to think about is these territories. Right, you need to be Bori. Blessed be Bori. What about you? Is that the same dude? Right, that's all the same dude. That is a different dude. Right, you're getting murdered as well then, so let's pin you. I mean, if he asks for a better contract, I don't mind. Like, better contract you can have. He's Bori, so he'll convert. He's wacky, so we might need to... It doesn't hate me that much, though, so actually... If we give him a ton of cash, he will probably convert. Has he got a protected contract? Oh, it's because technically he's in that territory, so that was a bit of a waste of cash. So we have kind of dealt with the ones... Well, he likes us a lot now. It's not like we're short on gold. Yeah, sure. We will explore the desert ourselves. Right. So we are really just left with picking on the littlest hobo, who we can now declare war on. So let's deal with that. Has he got any powerful friends? Nope. The other thing to consider is if we are going to have to take over the Byzantine Empire, is whether we just go to war and get Constantinople back first. Which is absolutely an option. Right, we're probably going to need a few more troops here, so let's just raise a few levies. Just for safety's sake. That's plenty. Timmy has died. No idea who you were, but I assume you're a rival of some kind. Yeah, I'll gain a lost tome knowledge. Why not? Fine. He's the next person we're murdering. Because he's got a hook on us. Possibly a silly newbie question, but presumably if we get Constantinople back, Day's capital moves there automatically. Only if she declares the war for it. What we in our ideal world, well, we're still going to kill him, but actually that was a fair use of his favour. Actually, you know what? We're not going to kill him now, because he doesn't have the favour anymore. So let's just murder this person instead. Let's just murder the 15-year-old child instead. Am I not merciful? So if she declares the war for Constantinople and gets Constantinople, she will have a decision available to her, which is move capital back to Constantinople, because she gets a decision to seize it. So she will and should automatically move her capital back to Constantinople, which would actually mean we could just war on her or a successor to get that territory. Because annoyingly, there's no mechanic to give someone else territory, which would be nice. Kind of feel like we should think about marrying her off at 25. How old are we getting now? We're 56, so... But she's sadistic, so we can actually just murder our children. So maybe we do actually just want to marry her for traits now. Because if we get a really good granddaughter, we can always deal with that as well. He's a genius with hail, which is probably a good combo for us. Because we don't have that in her breed line, but that would pretty much lock in genius as an inheritance for the kids. I think we'd probably go with him. I think he's the best option there. So where was he? Genius. Where's our genius hail? I mean, actually, we got a robust genius. Probably better. It's 11 years old, so 4 years. That's fine. Oh yeah, exactly. I mean, like, morning, Shirley. Yeah, I mean, like, we are practically there already. I only just want to do it so that we can see the flavor text for it. Like, that is literally the only real reason. Dika tells me that a local celebration in Niani, the home of Sarkinadan, is struggling with money. Here, ensure it is held. Are you raised yet? Come on. Thank you. Go kill them. I don't want the control level. Yeah, she can join the court. I don't know if it does. I assume it might do, in which case that'd be quite handy. Doesn't say it does on the text. Essentially, you just get a bunch of prestige. Not a lot of prestige, frankly, and I think you should. Get a hell of a lot more than that. Increases Bori further, which is nice. But as Chili says, I think the thing is, once you get to that point, you've kind of done it already. Niani is mine. The kid was being raised in Niani because he wasn't of age. So I presume that's where his guardian lived. Need a new marshal. All of you are terrible marshals. You're not, so you can have it. Sarkin Adan's time has come. All things fall eventually. Kingdoms, ladies, children pushed from high places. My agents will leave a trail of sweets leading up, 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 high enough to see little Sarkin Adin's stomach tingling. Once at the top, he will find a basket full of treats hanging over the wall, and as he reaches down to untie the rope, it would be so easy for him to slip. A tragedy, truly. Sarkin Adan is dead! Oh no, how sad. They found his mangled corpse on the ground, candies scattered on the ground around him. His young face was permanently twisted into an expression of surprise and terror. At least everyone thinks he fell by accident. Oh, it's a kid, get over it. Yeah, I think if you hadn't designed the religion around conversion, i.e. deliberately doing this challenge like we have done, then you'd have issues. Right, that war is over. Like, I can see how it's a useful decision if you haven't optimized your religion specifically for this conversion. But so is actually convert faith. Right, he should theoretically be converting that territory, but he has got 2 to convert. So we just need to think about what we go for here. Let's convert that and give the littlest hobo to someone who is Bori who will convert it. There you go, Katie, have a province. Promote culture was finished. Yeah, let's do some promotion of culture. We'll do it down in Bori. So we've got 3 years on that. So we've got that little bit of a shari up there, but we know that ruler has now converted. So that will convert. That ruler's converted. You can fuck off with whatever this noise is going on around here. Convert, you little bastard. This, by the way, is why getting that... I think people underestimate how powerful thoughtful is. That doubled opinion gain is so useful. Right, so we could go after Aduran. We can't holy war them, but we could go after them. If we want to be completionist and get rid of the border goal. Like, we're going to need to for the Unite Africa decision. I don't actually know if it goes quicker if you're both trying to convert. Ah, that's good to know. I did wonder. I suspected it might do, but I didn't. I wouldn't be able to know. I didn't know for certain whether it would or not. So I did suspect, but I wasn't 100% certain. Which, you know, makes sense in kind of hindsight. If you're both trying to convert, it should actually be quicker. But you never know with these things. Oh, Mr. Darcy has redeemed a random histofact. Random histofact. Okay. What should we go with? Oh yeah, actually, here we go. So, women in combat. So, arguably the first women who were involved in combat in the U.S. Army was in about 1918, and they were part of the U.S. Army Signal Corps. And they were essentially a whole bunch of Bell telephone exchange people who, when the US joined the war, World War One, they obviously suddenly needed comms, and they needed comms on the front line, and it meant they needed telephone exchanges, and they needed experienced telephone exchange workers, and the only experienced telephone exchange workers really in the US were primarily women. So you had about 200 of these Bell telephone workers who were essentially drafted into, well, they volunteered. The US Army asked for volunteers. They all signed up and joined the army and became part of the US Signal Corps. And they were under fire on the front several times. And yeah, they did an incredible job. And then were almost completely, as is the case, and as was the case with the female nurses in the British Army, were almost completely ignored after the war and did not get army pensions and had to fight to get army pensions. I think the last survivor was actually still alive when Obama became president, and may even have been given Medal of Honor as a kind of recognition, almost as a recognition of what her and all her colleagues had done. They became known as the Hello Girls to the troops, because obviously that was the thing they always said on the phone. So yeah, it's Army Signals Corps women, 1918. Look it up; it's fascinating. Right, where are we looking? Oh yeah, look, let's have a look at, actually looking around the world. Friesia's doing very well for itself, isn't it? Pannonia's doing quite well. The Muslims have done well to spread into Europe on the basis that they've kind of missed out on Africa because of what I've been doing. Nice to see Provence on the map and Savoy. Augsburg doing well. We have triple Bavaria. Is that Bavaria going through a rebellion, maybe? No, we have the Kingdom of Bavaria and the Duchess of Bavaria are two separate things. So we have double Bavaria. Alba's doing well. King Mile, who's a giant. A pilgrim theologian giant and a twin. Doing well for himself up there. The Vikings are kind of lost out a bit. They didn't manage to hold on to any of England. Yeah, interesting world map. India's more fractured than normal. Right, she's going to bitch again if we don't help her in her war. So who's she going up against? You really don't need our help for that. You're going after Dyrrhachian. So we should raise armies to help with that. The question becomes, are we going after Ajuran? I don't think she's got particularly strong allies. Well, she's our chancellor, so she can't join in, I don't think. Like, there's a lot of duchies around there. Well, it's only 4. So 4 wars to conquer the whole thing. I think we might as well. What we probably want to do is go for the one that's got the dude in that hasn't converted yet first. Like, he will be converting that, but I'd just be much happier if that was in our territory. So that title there. So that's Mogadishu. So we'd go for Mogadishu first. Or we just collapse her kingdom. The map would be a real pain to paint beyond the achievement. Yeah, if you were trying to expand up to here. And I see little bits of Bori popping around here, though, as the Byzantines are converting. Even a bit up there. Little bit of orthodoxy up there. Let's just do it nice and direct. What we want to do is weaken her first. So where are her actual titles? She's got the County of Yuba. And she's got Gudaya. So actually we want to go for the top territory up here before we do anything else. So we actually want to go, unless we happen to have someone who's got a claim on the whole damn thing. No. So if we go conquer duchy and we want to take... We'll start there. Because the other thing to remember is this is going to cost us piety. Maybe wait for next ruler to be able to do a kingdom war again. The thing is, when we get a next ruler, we're going to have a lot of issues with liberty wars and everything else. So what I'd really ideally like to do is do this with this ruler. But we'll see. I mean, we've got plenty of cash. It's not like we couldn't spam out mercs, but... Right. So, theoretically, we could beat her with our men-at-arms alone. So I think that's probably what we'll do. So we can't use a Holy Order against her. Oh, we can use a Holy Order. Did our Holy Order ever get dismissed? They should have done by now. Yes. Right, what we're going to do... is we will use the Holy Order to help in the Darakian War. Because then she won't moan about that. So let's get rid of our blue point, because we've had the blue one for a while, so it's nice to change up the colour every now and again. So Holy Order, hire you lot. Right, you lot go. And you're fighting a different faith, so she'll do nicely. You lot go and siege down the Darakian capital. Yeah, I think that's probably what we'll do, is we'll just go on a bit of a murder spree of rulers around here after we seize this and just try and kill the truces off quickly. Because it's only 4 wars, and that assumes her kingdom doesn't collapse or she doesn't get booted out. So one of the reasons we're doing this as the first war is because... oh Jesus, it's going to take a while. We might just want to go local troops. So one of the reasons we're doing this as the first war is because it allows us to take out the territory that is her actual part of her domain. And by taking out the territory that's part of her domain, we reduce her power, which then means she's more likely to go get overthrown. And if she gets overthrown, that puts a new ruler on the throne and we can instantly declare a new war. So if you're trying to break up a kingdom, one of the best ways to do it, or trying to do repeat wars against a kingdom, always go after the current ruler's domain before you go after anything else. Because you want to foment trouble in their territory. Let's get that siege going before it expires. We'll split these troops in half. Right, you lot go and kill her. And you lot, see if we got siege general. Yeah, you'll do. Stewardship perk will go large levies. Yeah, we can catch her. You're the wrong general for that. I'm guessing you're all fighting in your own wars, which is annoying. But you'll do. Don't think there's anything we want to do with her. We might as well just piece that out. Because she's already our faith, so we don't need to convert her. Right. Gagia goes to someone. Congrats, Kadama. Tell you what, you can actually have the other one as well. You can have that one as well. Enjoy. Right, disband you, disband you. Now, so if you look, she's now only got the county of Yuba left, and the Empire. So she's an incredibly weak ruler. The executing wouldn't have benefited us, because we'd have not got the peace treaty out of her. So the new ruler would have taken control. We'd have then pieced out, and the truce would have been with her heir, who is younger, healthier, and not in a bunch of wars. We're almost better off now either trying to plot to kill her or seeing if she just loses the wars naturally, and then we'll go for her heir again. So they will disband. How is our force over here doing? Right, they're sieging that down, so that's fine. So as soon as these guys get back in our territory, you lot don't need to come up anymore. You can disband. So you, we now try and murder. Anyone want in? Anyone else want in? There we go. But we'll get that from murdering her. We'll get the same split from murdering her, and it will reduce the truce so we can start a war. I am actually going to give that to you. Not great, but you are useful. So we are finally winning that war. Right, we got the siege, that's why. Are we actually gaining supply there? We are, so let's get supply back there before we march off and do something else. Right, how are we looking on supply now? How are we losing supply there? We were gaining supply there a minute ago. What's the supply limit? Oh, that's really annoying. Right, you lot go stand there. I mean, the other thing we might want to keep an eye out for is whether we can usurp that kingdom from her. Now, I suspect we're not actually that far off being usurped the actual Empire title off of her. Yeah, we only need 4 more counties and we could usurp that empire. In which case the whole thing fractures anyway. So what we might want to just look for our next ducal, our next war down there is make sure whatever we fight has at least 4 counties. Right, you're well supplied enough. Go siege that down. And you lot go siege that down. Because the annoying thing is, we're not going to have to start another war until... Right, I'm actually going to send them to help them out. I was coming to help you. You didn't need to break the siege. I feel like we actually just want to murder these people and get this war over with. Can you raise mercs in occupied territory? You can't, can you? Because I'm just tempted to just throw in some mercs. It's not like we're short on money. Right, go help out up here. The plan worked. An Empress Star of Astyajiran is finally dead. I've covered my tracks well, and if one suspects me for being behind the attack, no, don't dare say it out loud. Because the issue we've got is the Empire is not going to fracture because it is an Empire ranked title. And the problem is she won't swear fealty because it is an Empire ranked title. And we can't declare war because this war's ongoing and we have troops raised. So until we have won that war, we are kind of out of luck. But if we can keep these sieges going, it is only a matter of time. And we can use the mercs to go for them. And I assume they're being attacked by someone else. Oh, there you go, that'll help. Well, they just got their asses handed to them. These sieges are actually of the territory that is the war is for, so you'd expect them. And the Byzantines already took that one, so that's fine. It's just annoying because we haven't got any siege engines. Right, go kill them. See if you can catch them. Because that'll give us a chunk of war score. Will the game remove empire titles if you lose enough of the kingdoms? No. Hence why Byzantine Empire has survived, even though it's only a tiny thing. It is almost impossible to destroy empire titles. If you remember the Mongol Nestorian run, it's almost impossible to lose an empire title unless someone takes it off of you. The only way we managed to do it in the Mongol run, because we needed to for Kingdom of Jerusalem stuff, was to flip ourselves to being Norse, go Scandinavian elective, deliberately lose the election, and then start again from there. My daughter-in-law Day has given birth to a son since the little one is part of our... Has she? Okay, fair enough. Right, that's 77, so when these sieges finished, we'll win this war. Stewardship perk, soon forgiven, so we can take a tyranny hit. Total line will be useful because it stops independent factions. I'm surprised she's not having to fight a bunch of wars. But her only ally is our vassal, so... We can sweep through her quick enough. Frankly, I think one of these sieges will do it. Like, they're starving, but it's the Holy Order, we don't care. And this is why we're fighting this with the Holy Order and Mercs, because it doesn't harm our forces. It's mountain territory, and it was always going to be grim and brutal. We've just finished a conversion task. Right. We are looking reasonably healthy. Let's deal with that last bit of Ashari, because he should be converting that as well. Come on, finish these sieges. Right, that siege will do it. Like, they are retreating like mad, but the siege is close to 1, so that's fine. There we go. Feel free to call this war over now, because then I can quickly start the other one before you call me into some other bullshit war. Because she's essentially using us to rebuild the Byzantine Empire. Right, so what we really want with this is something that's got 4 counties. I don't think we're going to get anything around there that's got 4 counties. Because that's 1, 2, 3, 4. We'd need to get all of that, and I don't think we'll get all of that. Because, like, our claim is just that. That's 3. Ooh, that's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That would do it. That'll do it. He's dead. We already killed the pin character. The person we'll actually want to kill next is her. Well, we should definitely, after this war, have enough. And her only ally was our vassal, so she actually hasn't got a lot of troops to bring to this war. So what we might just do is raise all men at arms. Raise all. I think let's beast this war. Let's raise a lot of troops and go heavy on it. Oh, someone's having a baby that they shouldn't be having. I can't remember the last time we raised this many troops. Right, bosh. You lot, go siege that. God, I hate army selection in this game. Stop gathering. You lot, go siege that. Split in half. You lot, go siege that. You lot, go kill her. You've got more than enough troops. Go there. That's an interesting one, actually, whether we would... I suspect we would actually be raising, because I think we've got most of our armies raised here. I think we should now actually be in a position where we'd be making a profit with all of our troops raised. Maybe, like, not quite, but it would be pretty close. Like, have we got any troops left to raise? Let's raise them all. Let's have a look. Because we can always just disband these two. No. Why would I white piece you? I'm pretty certain we would either be making money or only just losing money. Sure, have fun. Who are you again? That marriage we're definitely doing. Yeah, so that's with all our troops raised and we're still making 27 gold. Yeah, they've gone off to do up there. We might as well, actually, now we've raised them, we might as well send these guys to go do something useful. Go kill them. You actually go do something useful. Now what I'm hoping is, once we get hold of our Empire title, is that we can actually persuade her remaining vassals to just swear fealty. Which would make life much easier. 21 months, chat. Remind me in 21 months. Right, capital's fallen. You go kill them. Essentially, we probably won't even need to fight her, to be honest. Yeah, our gold mines, the gold mines in Mali are ridiculously powerful. It's also one of the reasons why I wanted to do this with Mali and not form a custom empire. Because it doesn't change the nature of you getting the gold mines, but it does mean that that is your de jure territory and you get a hell of a lot less trouble from it. Right, one more of these sieges and we'll win. And then we can disband our troops. Yeah, have you justice. Day, the daughter of my vassal, Sarkin, since the best one of doubt. Yeah, fine. Call it what you want. Enforce. Disband. So that gives us that territory. We can now usurp that empire, which we can do before she gets any other wars going on. That split that into a bunch of different kingdoms, and I think we don't get a truce against that. He's Kushite, so we definitely want to take him out. What about you? You're Bori. Don't fancy declaring vassalage for low taxes? What if I send you a gift? Recently waged war, so it's the war penalty, otherwise she would swear. Are you able to grow a professional core of your army or have various forms of serfs pressed into combat? Yes, so how armies work is you get general levies, which are your serfs pressed into combat. But you also can recruit men-at-arms, and in fact I can actually recruit an additional men-at-arms regiment, which we haven't done, so we should probably do. We've got armoured footmen, bowmen, horsemen, pikemen, light footmen, and onagers. As you'd imagine, mangonels are better than onagers, aren't they? We should probably get some mangonels going on. Alright, let's just go with some light footmen. As you would imagine, holding a standing army means paying a standing army. So you need to be able to know you've got the gold generation to be able to afford it, which we do because we have some gold mines and they're very sexy. But yeah, what you kind of tend to want in, it's particularly early game, is having some men at arms is very useful. And they are much better. Yeah, I could replace the mangonels with those. What I really need to do is have like an upgrade mechanism on that. Because we can actually increase all of these. If we were playing for much longer, I would replace all of these. There should be a thing that says, actually, I don't want Onagas anymore, I want Mangonels, because they are an improved version. And then you can just upgrade, but apparently that doesn't work like that. What about you? How close are you to vassalage? You're not, because you're wacky, so you are getting declared on. You are getting declared on. Which then just leaves Lagdera. And that fucking little bit of Byzantium. Anyway, let's raise some armies. Right, Holy Order. Have a commander. And go deal with them. I think he's got less troops, so we'll... Yeah, so we'll use the men-at-arms to deal with him. Don't you dare take out my men-at-arms before they've finished raising. My daughter and heir, Durama, has given birth to a son since a little one. Abu Bakari. Good name. Yeah, go for it. Look at that. He's a handsome genius and robust. Yes, you get more men-at-arms slots for becoming a king. So our current men-at-arms is 7, which we're getting because we are a Sariuna, i.e. an empress. So we're getting +5 from that. We got 1 from plus 1 from household soldiers and +1 from mustering grounds. I think as a count you get 3, as a duke you get 4, as a king you get 5. I think that's how it works. And I don't think it goes above 5. You go kill them. Did we just capture him? I'm not going to argue. War 1. In which case you lot might as well come round and siege that down. Go seize that. That really fucks me off. Just because, like, it means that we're gonna have to fight her. Feel free to keep just throwing yourself to death. I'm absolutely fine with that. So she is actually at war. It's a liberty war. Once she loses that recently waged war penalty, she would actually swear fealty. So if she was to die in an accident, her heir would swear fealty. "29 days left on religion." Yeah, you can have it actually, not bad. Right, that needs to go to someone Bori. And we got another title out of that, didn't we? That one. That needs to go to someone Bori. It's harder than you'd think. I mean, it's relatively easy to become King of Ireland in the tutorial, but it's still slightly harder than you think. The game actually potentially trips you up. The hard part is holding on to kingdoms once you've got them. My general advice is always build yourself some men at arms quite quickly. Like, you kind of want to become a duke, and once you become a duke, you're laughing. And get good allies. Allies, certainly in your first wars, allies are your biggest weapon. If you can get good allies, you're laughing. Like, if it wasn't for that, maybe we should just go for a title. Problem is we're allied to her. What's your main goal when playing? Depends on the run. Oh, I don't like what we've done to our text there. In this run, we're trying to unite Africa and convert it to one religion, which we're not far off now. Got a couple of pockets of old Bori, but that's not actually a problem because that counts as our faith. We do need to convert Abadi again there. I'm assuming now that ruler is not flipped back to Abadi, it's just a legacy. Yeah, he's still Bori, so that's fine. So we've got the Kushite to deal with here, and these wacky bits, and then we will actually get the achievement. I mean, we're probably going to have about, at this rate, we might well have about an hour left. So what I might do is, you'll have a bit of a choice. I could do like a 45-minute kick off a new run and just show you early game, how to do early game again, because it's always useful. So I've not really been watching. We've got men at arms going again, so we would get size of men at armor regiments +4. So we just get a lot more men at arms. In terms of these things, by the way, I highly recommend you focus early on the stuff that gives you domain limit boosts, because it's most useful to you at the beginning of the game. Most useful to you at the beginning of the game. Shay Gaming, thank you very much for the follow. I recognise your name from somewhere and I can't work out where. I suspect it's in a chat of someone else I watch. FGDBR, thank you for the follow as well. That's very gracious of you. But yeah, I mean, I'm all about the tutorial stuff. So if people have questions or want help or don't understand the mechanic, do absolutely ask. Yeah, I'm trying to remember who's let's explore the drylands ourselves. Do you stream me? It might even be that I've watched you. Right, so we've got 3 years left on the Kushite conversion there. These should be converting. They should be converting. Alliance formed with Princess Day of Yorubaland because she's now a ruler. How's she related to me? She's my sister. How is she related to me? Whatever. Time for some good old-fashioned mod rule. Princess Adai is dead, beaten, trampled by her own subject. Oh dear, how sad. Right, I think that should mean... Hello, young countess. When she wins that war, she will actually swear fealty to us. So basically, when she wins or loses that war, she will swear fealty to us. Which means, apart from that tiny annoying bit of the Byzantine Empire, which is utterly ridiculous, we'll be alright. Just ruining my nice, clean Empire of Mali. Stupid font position aside. Well, I kind of didn't want to have to seize the kingdom of seize Byzantium from her. There really should be a mechanic that allows you to kind of go, you know that bit of territory you've got over there that is definitely a bit of part of my de jure, part of my realm. Can I have it back, please? I tried to get the Emperor title with one character starting as Alfred, then a count, and was and 3 counties short of that when he died. Yeah, Alfred to Emperor of Britain is an interesting one to attempt. I've never actually done it, but it is an interesting one to attempt. Ireland looking decent in the face of Alba. I suspect what happened there is Alba conquered it, and then the inheritance has split up. Frisia's getting even more hench. Ireland has got a nice bit of territory over here. Bavaria has unified itself. Lesser Poland is on the map. Pomerania is looking strong. Hurry up and win your war, or lose it. I don't mind, but do one or the other. Yeah, like all I want is that county. I'm still not sure how she managed to... I know she's an empress, but we're at the highest level of crown authority. We're not allowed to... meant to be allowed to... I suppose she might... maybe she held it personally and then... I suspect that's what it is. She personally held it. And then it got inherited out. My Chancellor, Sarkin, yeah, whatever. Someone had an affair. Get over it. Yeah, but that just means you marry someone with huge intrigue. Grab whoever we have to arms. Bloody Vikings. Oh shit, we'll be dead within a year. Okay, right. Okay. Right. Dead within a year, so we need to start prepping for the inheritance. So, Prince Canafa here is the heir to the Kingdom of Ajuran. Is that... I think that must be... Is that a title we don't currently hold? Because I'd be very surprised. Yeah, so he's got that independent of us, I think. Because we hold the empire, but we don't hold the kingdom. We do hold the kingdom. Have we got equal succession? I'm surprised by that. Right, Canafa, I'm afraid you're getting disinherited. Actually, we can just designate, can't we? If we designate her... Oh, maybe it's got a different inheritance type. Right, let's designate her first. Right, now, so now he doesn't get anything. So he doesn't get anything. Technically, it's our daughter that's going to inherit. So reset all perks. Grab Groom to rule again. Might as well grab Thoughtful, and we'll grab that while we're there, because we need to get something. We want all of these. doesn't really matter what we go for on this. Might squeeze in one more murder. We will just repeat what we had, because now we know we're going to die. I think it's best to just let our cells die. I assume we'd gone for... It doesn't really matter. We've probably gone down the religious one, thinking about it for faster conversions. So there's our additional boost on all of our people. Which actually doesn't fire now. They have fixed that, because look, she's still 25. So that's one of the reasons I wanted to do it, was to check. So you actually get the alert now, but you don't get the actual boost. So now it's a minor bug rather than a full bug. So that's something to remember now, is your double groom to rule no longer works. So it's not actually something we want to do going forward. We do want to lose enough stress to not be stressed out. Now what we might want to consider doing is squeezing in one more murder plot. And if we look at our Liberty faction, who is the most powerful person in it? $2,000 troops, 2,000 troops, 2,000 troops, 1,600 troops. So who are our most powerful vassals? $6,000, 5,000, 5,000, 4,000. They're only going to get county ranks, so we wouldn't split that up enough. That's going to fracture nicely. Sorry, old friend. We're going to see if we can kill you in time. Yeah, I know. How dare they fix the handy little bug we used to use as a massive exploit for free bonuses. But it's good to know they have finally fixed it, even if they haven't fixed the messaging around it. If you start a scheme, does it carry on? It should do, yeah. So we're banking cash because we really need to be boosting our troops. We'll have a moment of fragility, but I think we can pull it off. Because we'll create a ton of titles, which will massively boost our prestige straight away. Ah, good to know. Cheers, Chili. I assumed that if you had them going. I don't think I've ever had one overrun. Could really do with her winning this war before we die, though. How are we looking on conversions? 10 months left. What we need is an event. An event would boost this. Doesn't really matter if anyone knows I murdered someone now. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, is we may actually just go to war for that last Byzantine province. 74%. Come on, you can win this. Just win it quickly. I think she'll swear fealty to our heir anyway, but... Time for some good old-fashioned mob rule. Sweet, he is dead. So what that should mean is his heir doesn't have anywhere near as many troops. So what we've kind of done is preemptively dealt with making sure that we don't have like a really powerful vassal sitting there ready to go. Yeah, that's the thing, is if we get a Liberty faction, we'll probably just cede to them and just go down one level temporarily. Because that will be easier than just... We have died! Sarayuna Sia of Mali has left this world at 66 years of age. Can we get some F's in chat for Sarayuna Sia, please? She did incredibly well for us. She died of old age. A charming woman, she became famous for her elaborate feasts and grandiose balls, giggity. Sarayuna Daurama ascends to the throne, a true sadist. Many fear for what the realm will turn into under her rule. I think we'll do fine, you know. Pause. Yeah, so we're currently looking to murder that person, because that's our heir's plot. 60-year reign is not bad at all. Right, I am going to be back quickly. I'm going to take this opportunity to go and get a beer. And then we will look at consolidating our realm as our new Sarayuma and just killing off this this run and achievements. So I will be back in a second. Let's leave you not looking at middle of desert bits. Let's go up to a big, nice Mali view. And I will be back in a second. Okay, I am back. Goodbye, Country Girl Laura, if you've not gone already. Thank you for stopping by. As always, a pleasure. Right. Let's have a look at what beer we are drinking today. I have no idea if my camera's in the right position. Guess we'll soon find out. Bing, bing, bing. Okay, so today, that is our beer for today. It is a Carmen Mosaic Pale Ale. It is 4%. Brewed and canned for Carnival Brewing Company. It is from Belgium. Do we have a taste description on this one? We do not have a taste description on this one, so let's just give it a go. Let's get back to the game. Right, that is tasty. That's a very crisp and clean pale ale. It hasn't got a lot of body to it, so I'd almost describe it as a session ale. You could easily sit there and drink a lot of that. Yeah, it's almost lagerish. Almost lagerish. Quite tasty. Right. First things first, let's secure our kingdom. So let's see what lifestyle track she was going down. She was on the stewardship track. She has gone down architect, which isn't that useful for us. So I think now that we know that we're not going to get a benefit going forward from the I think we might actually just do a bit of a cheeky reset on that, which is going to give her a ton of stress, but we can deal with that. I think we will continue to take this, and we'll go with duty focus to begin with. And we're going to push her down meritocracy, chains of loyalty, likable. We've got 3 left, which can actually get us to toe the line. Which means independence fashion joining is now less likely, and we want positions of power next. Dread game would be useful, but something to remember. First things first, let's host a feast. So that drops us down 1 stress rank, and we can work on the others. Right, powerful vassals first. Who have we got? We have got Sarkin of Blemia. Good diplomat, good steward, decent-ish marshal. Bit rubbish, decent diplomat, and we probably do want her in because of that. She is a powerful vassal, so let's make her our chancellor. So Katie, you get to be our chancellor and you're on domestic, which is fine. That leaves us with good steward, average marshal. Pretty bang average across the board. Lots of troops. Probably him. So you can have that. Marshal, that means you get to be Blemia. I think maybe we just want to go with our ex-father, adopted father. Because that intrigue of 30 is just too useful not to have. Right, have you finished your little shitty war yet? No, you're doing your shitty little war. Next up, we want to make our dread. We want to max out our dread because we've got 0 dread. But we do have plenty of prisoners. Plenty of prisoners. Slow Psycho, thank you for the host. Very generous of you. Hope your morning stream went well. Let's kill some prisoners and get our dread right up, because that's going to help us. Dread. 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 That's got us under the overwhelmed by stress, because we're sadistic, so we're losing a lot from doing this as well. Which is why I wasn't that fast about taking that massive stress hit. Dread is 75. It's why sadistic can actually be quite handy. Right, dread of 100. Like, imagine, like, in reality, she literally takes over the throne and then just goes, right, I'm killing a whole bunch of people. Our kid is excellent. Our kid is absolutely bloody excellent. Martial intrigue. We are probably going to stick him on stewardship. But that's fine. We shouldn't need him. But he is excellent for if we do need him. Right. We're still direct vassals. We still have way too many direct vassals, but we'll deal with that if we need to. Only got our 3 duchies, so that's fine. What's our prestige like? We're not at least illustrious, so let's get ourselves up to illustrious. So we're going to create the Kingdom of Anbia. What can we give out? Duchy of Cyrenessa we can give out. I suspect, because it's within... Or maybe not. Algier we can definitely give out. Who's chilling over in Algiers these days? It's over this way, isn't it? Where's Algiers? That's not Algiers, is it? That's Tangiers. Where's Algiers? Over here? There. Don't really need to be holding on to that. Let's give that to someone. You can have that. You can also have the Duchy of Algiers. There you go, congrats. Do we still hold Marrakesh? Do we keep hold of Marrakesh or do we give it out? We really don't need to be holding that. We are going to need to kill some people, because the problem is we've been giving out titles while we're beneath our things, but we can kill a whole bunch more people to get our stuff down. What's the disabled buildings thing? It is because we have just taken over, so it takes at least a month before our own holding buildings kick back in. So it'll just be that kicking in. Right, I think we can probably transfer a vassal now. Don't think we can create any more empires. We're only on to duchies now. I think we hold all the empires. Duchy of Zhou is... where's that? Agadir. It's down there. Right, we'll create Duchy of Zhou. You're my vassal and champion. Have a title. Congrats. Can transfer her. That makes him happier. Not quite illustrious. How much do we need for illustrious? I want to get us to illustrious at least. So we need to create another 3-ish and then call a hunt. Duchy of Mogadishu. Yes, the income will go up again, and our vassal and our number of levies will go up again once we get. I know you're the wrong culture, but you can have it anyway. Duchy of Mogadishu. There you go, congrats. Right, 2 more gets us illustrious. Where is Lhasa? Somewhere up in Abyssinia. So let's create Duchy of Lhasa. Lhasa. Bori Hausa, congrats. You now have the Duchy of Lhasa. One more will get us illustrious. Tafalat. Have a Duchy Mercuria. Because the thing is, as long as they're fighting each other, they're not fighting me. Right, that makes us illustrious. So we're now very stressed out again. But we also have 23 prisoners. Yoink. Yoink. Kill some Kushites. Yoink. Any other foreigners? There we go. Why stressed? Ambitious. We are ambitious, which means if we give away a title when we are below our domain limit, we get really stressed about it. And because we gave away a bunch of titles whilst below our domain limit, we got stressed about it. But it is the one time where being ambitious and paranoid and sadistic is really useful, because you can then use the sadistic stuff to turn around and get rid of all the stress, as long as you keep plenty of prisoners. So that is about as secure as we can make our kingdom straight off the bat. Which then pimps the dread, exactly. So you're kind of doubling up on your benefits. So now we just want to see what kicks in true faction terms when all of this resets itself. We will endure because we can just kill some more people. Now we are running out of people to kill, so we should be careful about that. Because this is going to start costing us faith. So we have pretty much run out of... We have done a lot of murdering. Good question. I don't think we do have a physician, so we might as well invite one. Right, we still haven't got our true picture on factions yet. Right, Bosch, there we go. How are we looking? Pretty damn good. Minor potential problem with the Liberty faction. But nothing too damaging there. Like, we could actually win that if we fought it. Yeah, when we're done with the feast, we'll call a hunt. Yeah, we've just, like, literally killed, like, 20 people in our dungeons. And we're like, anyone want to be our, physician? And, yeah, you're absolutely right, Pangolin. We could quite easily just turn around and go, actually, do you want to have that? I don't think we need to murder whoever we're murdering here. You're decent, actually. Yes, you can become our physician. She's still winning her war. Right, here's the question. Byzantium's moved their capital. So they've actually moved their capital back to where it should, somewhere where it should be, up in Byzantine territory. We could go to war right now to sort that out. And I'm very tempted to do so. Yeah, I think we will just cede to the Liberty faction, because we can always raise it again later. The only disadvantage is she's got decent allies, but I don't think she will have. I think we just go for that. It's nothing personal. It's just we want Ife. And all her armies down here at the moment, so we can actually smash the fuck out of them. Right, I think we're going with a full raise here. Because remember, we can't use all our holy orders. Right, we'll call a hunt. There we go, and our Liberty faction is too weak. I think we're going to go with... See, do you know what really annoys me about this event? You would think it's a creature from myth, perhaps a god disguised in animal form. It was the largest heart I've ever seen. Even after the beast was wounded, the chase lasted half a day. Its skull will make a fine crown. Why don't I now get a skull crown option? I want a skull crown option. Like, give me a skull crown option. Like, this should give you this should unlock an actual deer skull that you can, or like a crown with a big frickin' skull on it that you can have for this. It legit annoys me that it doesn't. Like, it's such an obvious thing that you could do. I quite like the Byzantine Imperial crown. I feel like we should give her a really badass crown. Like, it legit annoys me that you don't get an amazing crown from that thing. You just should. I feel like we're going to make her a bit of a semi... Let's give her like a bit of a warrior queen thing going on. Right, so let's see what... While we're doing this, let's have a look at what vassals we've got that we can murder. Because what we kind of want to be doing is looking at who our most powerful vassals are that are still hanging around in factions. So that's not going to fracture on inheritance. So let's actually have a look at our main vassals. That will actually fracture at least partially. She kind of likes us, so I'm not inclined to get rid of her. He's 65, so he's going to die soon anyway. Kingdom of Maghreb, maybe. That'll fracture quite nicely. That will fracture very nicely. Let's take a punt at murdering him. He's not bad on intrigue, so let's flip him to court intrigue. Let's get some people in. Why am I overwhelmed by stress? What did I do there that overwhelmed me? Because I legit don't know what I did there to overwhelm myself with stress. I was being very careful about that. Ah, yeah, bribed, and I'm paranoid, aren't I? Yeah. Right, Byzantines. You, and you. Stop gathering. Stop gathering. Stop gathering. Intercept. You lot carry on gathering. We should have some reasonable commanders in there, so we should be fine. You go sit on Ife. You join the fun down here. Right, Right, we're going to keep chasing this army. It's quite handy because it means we can actually... Why am I overwhelmed with stress now? Oh, we killed my brother. I think we're basically out of people to murder. Because we're going to hit tyranny if we murder them. No, not him. I mean, more accurately, we killed our brother. Right, join up, detach siege, because that's got the siege train. That is the siege, to give that siege general. You lot follow them, because they should retreat onto there. Like, if there was a mechanism for giving us that kind of thing, we'd have been fine. I mean, the good thing is she's technically in command of this army, so there isn't a chance we could capture if we just keep smacking them around. Can you just not keep running around like that, please? Right, let's not kill any more people for a while. How are we looking on conversions? We're not... Chat, you're letting me down, man. We are so close to this. He's got protected from conversion. Someone down there needs to die. Someone down there needs to die or have their contract changed. You do not get religious protection rights. And I would strongly suggest it's in your interest to convert. Yeah, let's see if we've actually got a jungle guy. Anyone jungly? Anyone here fully appreciate how massive the jungle is? None of you are into jungle. Outrageous. I mean, it gained a favour hook on me, so you don't have to die, but... Come here! Gotcha. See, 72%. I kind of almost want to disband those. If we disband them, 22 months, that's still going to be quicker than trying to carry them all the way up here. So technically we control the Victory Province now. So what we could actually do is just raise a Merc force up here to go siege some other stuff down. She's got like 800 troops. So I think what we do is... let's move... Oh, there's 8. There they are, all are. Hello. Nice to meet you guys. Let's get ourselves some archers, some horses. And you guys. Defondo! Thank you for gifting a tier 1 sub to Pangolin. That is very nice of you.
The tier 1 sub to Pangolin. They have given 5 gift subs in the channel.
Enjoy your mercs. Enjoy your emotes, Pangolin. Enjoy. But it's not really much point fighting those. We might as well just go and siege our capital. We can unlock a dynasty pen, and we probably do want to unlock one. What do we want to go for? Dynasty members get better education traits is nice, but not exactly critical. Dread gain plus 20 natural dread is probably quite useful for us, and it feels fitting actually with our the way this character is. Desperate bear armor. I mean, welcome to. Whoa, 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 whoa! Less of that. Where'd you suddenly get 5,000 troops from? I mean, okay, they're only mercs, but still, I don't like losing mercs. I guess we're going to need to raise some troops again. They did indeed snipe us. But they shouldn't have had that many troops to snipe. Was that just that despot coming in at the last minute? Right, yeah, you can have it. It's fine. Despot of Sicily really had that many troops? Yeah, apparently. Apparently. Can't be the Holy Order against me because she's of my faith. So she can't use a Holy Order. Unless the Despot hired a Holy Order. Because I think he could theoretically use a Holy Order against me. Let's raise some troops. We are sitting on the war goal. So we do have that going on for us. Let's raise about 10,000 guys over here. I don't think I can because I'm not at war with him. This is the thing. I think it counts off of the person who's in charge. Thing is, we've got plenty of troops, so we might as well just, you know, send these guys over because we've still got a ton of the mercs left. So they can get back involved. Position of power, council opinions up. Let's go lose a child in a trail in the forest. That's going to stress us out, which is annoying. I'm not convinced we've got a lot of prisoners left to kill. We might have some though. Tyranny, tyranny, not tyranny. Kind of need to go on a pilgrimage soon now if we're going to keep doing this. Let's kill one more. Yeah, murdering people shouldn't stress us. I thought they only got hired if the war type was holy. I'm not sure whether the AI... I'm pretty certain the AI will just hire them if they can. Which makes sense. Yeah, I mean, we did just kill a kid, so there is an element of stress from that. Right, well, apparently they've only left 1,000 people on the capital, so I am tempted to... We've got 13,000 more coming in. Let's see if we can snipe those fools when the other army's not in the area. Have some gold. I don't care. I don't know what you're going to a holy war for, but it's going to be more trouble than it's actually worth. Going after East Francia. Wow. Good luck with that. Yeah, I think we need to be out of the war before we can vassal the bottom country. Mercs, go kill them. We're prego! It's got powerful vassals expecting positions, but nothing crazy. We do need to designate an heir for the kids, so yeah, that's us. That war is over. Enforce. Disband all. Let's go on a pilgrimage. How far can we go? To Igbo Okawu. Will you swear fealty? I feel like this is a bad life choice on your part. If I'm honest, I feel like this is a bad life choice on your part. Like, if you were that province... Like, if you were that province, and the entirety of the known part of Africa was part of an empire, and the empress of that empire, who had murdered at least 40 people personally so far, came to you and said, do you maybe feel that you as an 18-year-old ruler with no allies, do you maybe feel like you might want to swear fealty? You'd probably say yes. I feel like you have made a spectacularly poor life choice there, if I'm honest. No, we'll just kill him. She had her chance. She had her chance. Meanwhile, we're off on our pilgrimage. We will find a guide, because we're not taking a massive health hit from being lost. Not when we're prego already. I wake to noise of chaos in the camp, but only takes me a few moments to realise what is happening. We are under attack. Bandits are swarming our tents and wagons while our guards do what... Yeah, we'll fight them. Okay, so we're wounded. Way, we've walked the holy path and we lost that, so we are good. So we're devoted servant, we're almost exalted among men. Get that siege. How are we looking on conversions? 20 months left on that province. Princess Nemanje of Mali. She is a beautiful, genius and hale young lady. Good for you. Taproot EU. Welcome to the stream. We have painted the Empire map on Mali. With the exception of this one province that decided, curiously, that they did not feel a need to swear fealty to us. But no, we're not doing the entire map. That would be silly. But the moment this falls... unite Africa. But before we do that, I mean, let's look at the fact that actually when we say unite Africa, we have already united Africa, and there are literally only 3 provinces we need to convert. And I kind of almost feel like I don't want to do that decision until we've converted those provinces now, just to prove that you can actually do this achievement without actually needing the decision. Like, I kind of feel like we're that close. Did someone just appoint themselves Chancellor? That was an incredibly bad life choice on your part. Did they do it with a contract, or did they... Yeah, that was an incredibly poor life choice on your part. I feel like we should do it without the Unite Pass first. Papa Meow Meow, thank you very much for the follow. I tip my invisible Panama hat to you. Because old Bori counts. So actually all we're essentially waiting on is 16 months on Barbicadla, wherever the hell that is. That should be actually converting now anyway, because we converted the ruler and we got rid of his religious protection. So he should theoretically be converting that, and we can chase it up. And it's only that one beyond that. I'm going to stick with this. I think there's a certain amount of joy to be found in doing it without having to. We're going to make you our new Magadija, because you are slightly better. That reduces it a bit further. I mean, that's going to be pretty chaotic. Like, there's no way we're joining that, but that is going to be pretty chaotic. I'll be amazed if they pull that off. Oh, there's a little bit of green there, isn't it? What's happened there? Who the fuck are you? I would strongly suggest it's in your interest to convert. I would also strongly suggest you do not use that hook to get onto my council. It's generally a bad life choice. If I wanted to put a Bori on the throne of West Francia, I'd do it without a Holy War. Holy War is like the worst way to do it. Because you've just got no control over all the giant armies wandering around. You're better off just actually going to war and creating the kingdom. Is that... What faction we got? It's not Liberty. Oh, Peasant Rabble. Yeah, go for it. Have fun, lads. Let me know how that works out for you. 7 months. We can do some control boosting as well. Have we got any... How's our control in our core territories? Yeah, that's alright. Do something can. Murder plot. That's annoying, because it does mean we could... Well, we'll have to hire him. Which is going to crit status, but hopefully we've got some prisoners we can murder. Fingers crossed. We have some prisoners we can murder. We did just do a big war, so... RIP. I mean, we've actually got... If we wanted the Byzantine Empire, we would go for it. We could absolutely go for the Byzantine Empire. I think if we were going to do another empire in this run, we'd actually just seize the Byzantine Empire and then rebuild the Byzantine Empire. Yeah, Muwaladi's done quite well. I think weirdly Muwaladi has benefited from us doing what we've done in Africa, because it took a lot of pressure on them in Africa from other versions of other elements of Islam. Right, another bit's disappeared down there, so it's just that. And did he convert in the end? He did, didn't he? So we're getting there. Snack! We used a snack. They did find out, but we did use a snack. Sariuna Paimene is dead by the lethal bite of a mamba. The snake struck long after she retired to her chambers, and although the guards were called, no one could do a thing to save her. Just because she died cursing my name doesn't mean I definitely was the one who murdered her. I feel like that's incredibly circumstantial evidence. We don't control those islands, but we don't need to for the decision. Oh, to the west, yes, we do. You need the Canaries. You need the Canaries. Can't do it without the Canaries. Yeah, fine, you can have it. As long as that's still peasants, we're fine. Sure, I'll come to your feast. 30 days on that conversion. Yeah, I reformed the Roman Empire with Vikings. That's the fun one. I'm legit looking forward to the new culture mechanics. I think that's going to make so many interesting runs we can do in terms of cultural combos. Right, let's get rid of that one. We can do a bit more control. Let's keep it in our core. Increase... No, look. Just fucking do what I'm telling you to do and go increase control. I swear to God. Increase control. Increase control. There. It's not, no. We don't need that island to do it. It counts as Arabia. It's actually a really interesting location, and we will do some cool things with it at some point as a run. But like you can see, we've already got the decision available. We're just not taking it. So we are waiting on 3 years for that conversion. Cheers, Chili. Enjoy City Skylines. We may pop in later. I may pop in later, definitely. We'll go to the feast, so I wouldn't mind Gregarious as a trait. Yes, so the next big drop, the general thing on it is it's going to tweak culture to work a lot more like religion does. So you can form combined cultures in the same way as like Norman exists within the game at the moment. You can do a lot more things with kind of cultural dynamics. So culture gets a big boost. Like they're selling it on Royal Court. You know, that Royal Court, you're going to get a lot more Royal Court interactions. But if I'm honest, the thing that really grabs me about it is actually the cultural changes. Culture is the thing that I think is really going to be the fun one. It's certainly going to make for some interesting runs. Like, for example, I think our first run will actually be restoring Roman Britain, which is going to be really interesting. Hey, Clan William, you join us almost at our moment of triumph. Right, you're all hanging around down there, so let's just murder you. Let's get off religious view. So yeah, the cultural big of culture The hybrid culture stuff is going to be amazing. I'm really legit looking forward to it. I think we're going to have lots of fun with it. Lots of interesting runs. It's going to be awesome. Like, the Royal Throne Room stuff is going to be some really good flavour, and I look forward to seeing what else they add in. But honestly, it is the cultural thing that is the big change. Right, how are we looking? So, still those 3 provinces we need to convert. So we've got our 3 years left on that. No, go away. What we could actually do, and maybe should do, is how are we looking at... Well, we might as well run for administrator. We might want to just dump it up to speed 5, because we're not planning on attacking anyone, and we can always slow it down again. Ooh, our kid got diligent. That's a really nice trait to have. Actually, how close is our daughter? Let's set our daughter up in advance, so that we don't forget. And educate child. We will educate her. Outrageous. Why are they coming from the Basilea's territory? Goddamn Vikings. Can you find a veteran priest who can beat... she's 18. She's pretty decent already. What we can do, now that we've taken that, is we will flip to learning. And we'll flip to that, because actually I think it's that one. Zealous Proselytizer. Convert faith in counties, progress speed plus 25%. So if we get up to the second run on that, we're laughing. Oh, dude. Dude. Why would you do that? How has nobody noticed that the lifespan of someone who bribes himself onto my council is very, very low? No, we've accidentally poisoned our daughter. Hopefully she'll recover. Right, we have gained Eager Reveler, so we're probably not going to do as many feasts now. Murder scheme's still looking strong. Bosh, our vassals converted that one. So we're just down to the Abadi province over here now. As soon as that finishes, which is 15 months. Oh dear, how sad he died. There we go. Yeah, we've been getting through a lot of dresses at our feasts, it has to be said. We must be way over our vassal limit. Only 13, I'm surprised by that. I thought it'd be more than that. He's got ambitious. Actually, weirdly, he is looking like the better heir at the moment. He's 11 and he's got a stewardship of 18. Well, I don't think we're going to need him, because we're going to do this. But, like, theoretically, we're well set for the future. Right, 39 days. Oh, come on. fuck right off. Stop fucking converting. You little shit. I swear to fucking God. Can everyone stop fucking converting, please? Right, if he either converts or I'm literally ripping that fucking province from his hands. Did your kid convert? Your kid converted. I'm murdering you. I don't really need it. We're at 95% already. And again! Fucking stop it! Like, that wasn't wacky. On the plus side, we are at least moving towards our... Right, get Faithful, and then we'll get Zealous Proselytizer, which is going to speed things up a bit. It's for the good of the faith. Knew he was going to do that. I fucking knew he was going to do that, which is why we're murdering him. Ooh, a songbird. Nice. I'll take the learning boost. Right, can we have a mob kill him, please? Thank you. Because you do not get to be our spy master. That's Smurf Hat Dude. Smurf Hat Dude is our spy master. Yeah, basically, I knew he was going to muscle his way onto the council. I don't like him being craven, so that's probably just knocked him out of the succession. Right, 3 years. But we will get a speed up when we do that one. Well, we don't necessarily need to kill her because she's no longer wacky, and she also used her favour to just get her taxes reduced. And I legit don't mind that. It doesn't really have a massive impact on the game at this point. So she should theoretically be converting. And her kids are Bori, so at least we know it's going to inherit, right? So we do have a Liberty faction, but we can actually afford to drop a Liberty scale. I'm not that fussed about it. I mean, She's probably due murdering anyway. We won't get a good chance at it. I think it'd be overkill to form the counties and give them to zealots. Like, we only need those last 3 to convert. And yeah, what you got to remember, Takaru, is I'm pretty much, at least at the moment, I am an exclusive CK3 streamer, so it is literally the game I am very, very good at. I probably will do something different midweeks in the long term. We'll take that. We'll let that Liberty faction fire. I don't actually mind if they fire. I'd rather not kill more prisoners, because I think we want them if we need stress reduction. So we can do that, which is going to give us Zealous Proselyzer. That is going to reduce the time on that even further. So we're down to 21 months. Is it worth forming the duchies? No, it really isn't. Yeah, fine. If we get an independence one, I'll deal with it, but... How many dresses am I going to have to get through here? Would I be interested in another very niche, like Grand Tactician in Civil War? Yeah, I mean, I play other ones. Like, so obviously, like, I play a lot of EU4. I will absolutely midweek, once it's out, I will be playing a lot of Victoria 3. So I will be doing, at that point, I'll probably be playing CK3 on Sundays and then Victoria 3 on another day every week. EU4 I could do as well. The thing is that I know a lot of people enjoy watching me because they like watching CK3. So it's like, you kind of, from my own watching of streams, like, I kind of know that, like, actually, what I tune in for is I'm in certain moods for certain games. So it's more likely that I will do another slot in the week where I stream something different and just keep Sundays as CK3 day. Because there's always fun to be found in CK3, so... I mean, let's be honest, we could hit Unite Africa at any point and that would at least convert one of those provinces, but we're not, just because I'm stubborn and I want to do this without doing it. Well, he got Midas touched, so even though he's Craven, he's, like, pretty decent. Like, the thing I've been doing in EU4, like, off-stream for personal pleasure is, Rugen into Prussia, which is good fun. Pirate Prussia, man. Can't go wrong with Pirate Prussia. Right, 4 months left on that conversion. We might as well do some culturals. The other thing I'm looking forward to with this, with them fixing culturals, is the AI never culture converts. Like, literally never culture converts. Which is a right pain in the arse if you're trying to do something kind of big and impressive with cultures. So if you think back to when we were doing the Vikings, the Viking takeover of Byzantium, or even if you're doing it in Sicily, you're just constantly having to culture convert everything yourself because no one else will do it. It's an absolute nightmare. So even if all they do is sort that out, I'm happy. Yeah, I think that's the thing, and it's why I think CK3 is... Have I realised... Have we not been... Oh, we have had them. We're going to put her on Prevent for a while. Like, CK3 just gives you so many stories, which is why I like it as my Sunday stream. Right, we have converted there. Right. Nobody fucking convert. But yeah, EU4 is fun. Victoria 3 I will definitely do, because I think it's sufficiently different from this as well that it'll create different history chats, which will be just as fun, I think. Right, 2 years left on that conversion. If nobody could convert to bad religions, I'd be grateful. On the plus side, one of those bits of old Bori is gone. What about this bit? Could we get rid of this bit of old Bori just for form's sake? Are you actually old Bori? You are old Bori. How would you feel about converting to new Bori? Yay! Good for you. Nemanje is zealous. We'll actually let her be zealous, because that would potentially be useful. Yeah, Vicky 3 would be my other streaming one. Victoria 3 for those who aren't familiar. So it's it'll be the new Paradox game, which kind of is Industrial Revolution era. Yeah, we'll go with that one. Convert faith. In time it takes to convert a county is no longer increased if that faith has higher further, so that's potentially quite useful. So she has finished. Convert that. 3 years. Three years, chat. Three years. History fact. Ooh, history fact. It's probably a decent time to do one if I slow it down, because we're waiting on conversions and things. So, ooh, history fact. What to think of? Try to think of what haven't we done as a history fact. The problem is I always kind of go, oh, that's an interesting thing, and then I can never remember if I've actually done it before. Oh yeah, okay. Interesting history fact. Might not be available in your country of choice, but Fanta, the drink Fanta, was actually created in Germany during World War II by the remnants of the Coca-Cola company that had been cut off from the US and therefore needed to create a soft drink with what they had available locally because they no longer had supplies of the Coca-Cola syrup. And the result was Fanta. So Fanta is essentially Nazi Coke. But actually, it's kind of not Nazi Coke, because the guy who ran the Coca-Cola company during the Nazi era was quite a nice guy and was very good about trying to hide the Jewish workers from the Nazis. But yes, so Fanta, if you drink Fanta, the orange drink, you're actually drinking a drink that was created in World War II in Germany to kind of get round the fact that Coca-Cola didn't have access to their syrup anymore. Which, weirdly, Coca-Cola don't talk about a lot. Can't think why. Two years. Kind of like it if that other old Bori converted first, but it's probably not going to. We do have a faction, but it's just peasant rabble, so that's fine. We might want to just see if we can boost our dread, because we're down to 50 dread. Like, our dread equilibrium is actually slightly higher than you'd think because of the stuff we took, but there's no harm in boosting our dread where we can. Don't think we've got anyone else of any other religions we can murder. Oh yeah, you can. The Sarkin of Cadiz. No, it's an act of tyranny though. You can stay in prison. Nah, see, I don't want to kind of kick in with the Vicky ones until Vicky's out. Because I think Victoria 3 will trigger some interesting and different conversations to the kind of conversations we have in this one. Yeah, I mean, England is absolutely obsessed with World War Two. The sooner, much as I love my parents' generation, the sooner they die off, the better. Not as individuals, but collectively. It is not healthy how much World War Two dominates the narrative for that generation. I get why, but it shouldn't. Right, how are we looking? So we've got 2 years left on that conversion. I do really desperately hope she converts that. Oh, come on! Fuck right off. I swear to fucking God. Fuck's sake. Like, how is that even, like, how are they popping up with little Ashari fucking people in the first place? Because we've completely converted all of that territory. Yeah, honest can be very, very bad for you, as much as it can be very, very good for you as well. Right, we've got 22 months left on that. Can everyone stop randomly converting to different religions, please? Don't make me hit the unite. Don't want to get forgiveful. Rather have a wrathful. Let's go on a hunt. Let's get our stress down. Sarkin, someone's going to gain some opinions. We'll do that. Don't really need to do that yet. We'll stash our feast for when we need it. Right, where are you kicking off? Yeah, I mean, I admire your desire to rebel, but I do kind of think you're onto a bit of a losing thing there. I love how paranoid changes the events. My vassal Khadija Magadija has arrived outside my castle with a grand procession of well-trained diplomats, champions, and exotic entertainers. The fellowship resembles a parade. In a booming voice, she announced she comes here bearing gifts of gold. Do not let her in the castle. She's obviously here to kill me. Ugh, I hate it when it happens. You get it a bit as well, I've noticed, with if you're doing like Prussia or something like that in EU4, and the amount of times when you've already gone Protestant, you've got a Protestant centre of Reformation, and then Berlin spawns a Reformed centre of Reformation, and you're just like, well, fuck off, you've just screwed me. Right, that's converted back. Thank fuck for that. Hopefully. Come on. Oh, come on. Right, 9 months. 9 months, then we can go convert that. Come on, you want to change that old Bori? You want to make that nice new Bori? Make it new Bori. Right, expand all. Well, it's almost like you shouldn't be abusing the game mechanic, isn't it, Maddox? Almost. Yeah, you can have that guy back. Go for it. Right, that's converted. Right, you know what? I don't care. I want that old Bori gone first. I want us to have a proper clean. Spanking new. All new Bori. Because we're so close. It's not like we're going to play something else after this run finishes, so. Be a nice way to finish the stream. Nobody over here convert, I swear to God. Don't you dare anyone over here convert. Come on. No more feasts. 20 months to go on that one. Oh, hang on. They converted themselves. They converted themselves. Achievement unlocked. We did it. We got the achievement. The green has disappeared. The achievement has been unlocked. We are mother of all. We now have it. Let's have a look. Annoyingly, that has taken me over the 69% achievement points in Steam for this game. Unlocked. Are any of the really hard ones I haven't got now? No, I've got all of them. Mother of all souls, starting as Magajiva Dowra, reform an African pagan religion and convert all counties in Africa to it. We did it! We did it, chat. We converted the whole of that to Bori. I feel like we should continue and just get that done. That is 19 months left. And then we're going to hit the Unite Africa button just because we can. Because I'm guessing you'd quite like to see the flavour. I'd quite like to see the flavour text. The flavour text is always fun. Oh yes, no, I've got the, that was a pain in the arse, the inbred achievement. The thing with that is you actually have to go a generation longer than the flavour text tells you. Really frustrating. It's surprisingly hard to do, but it is doable. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Just want that to convert before we hit the button. 13 months. $11 months. 10 months. Almost there. 9 months. Assuming no one's converted. But I think we're pretty solid now. Yeah, I mean, I don't normally play down here, which is why it's quite nice. It's why a lot of the ones, the only achievements really I still need to do are ones where they are playing in a specific area doing a specific thing. And it's where it takes it outside my normal kind of zone of playing. So I've almost not prioritized those because I don't really need to. Well, I didn't prioritize converting these places because they're not Africa, so we didn't need to. Oh no, one of our friends died. And we're fat. But it doesn't matter because we're almost done. And our daughter is now a witch. There she blows. Come on. What? Wait. Why does that still show as old Bori? Like we literally just converted it. Was it a 2-province area? Oh, come on. That's annoying. I thought it was just a single province. Was it 2? No, she's fucking converted back again. Fuck's sake. She converted back. Is it too much to ask that everyone goes Bori? I feel it shouldn't be too much to ask. Let's flip her to support schemes. That's a decent percentage chance now. I mean, thing is, it's only 2 years. See, I think I only saw it as 1, so it's entirely possible it's my fault. I am going to go on a hunt when we get a hunt option, though. Because we are a bit obese and we'd quite like to lose the puppy fat. Oh, come on! Give over. Fucking convert. I don't care. I'm hitting that Unite Africa button. Close enough. No, I'm damn. No. Urgh. Fucking will do this. $20 months. Well, our air's decent. Got Midas touched again. Call hunt. We will do that because it'll lose us a bit of weight. $15 months. Well, we killed her. We did get caught, but we did kill her. I would suggest that you probably want to convert. It's just ridiculous, Bori whack-a-mole as well. Like, it's just stupid Bori whack-a-mole. Right, 9 months. Can everyone stop discovering my schemes as well, because it's very annoying. Why wouldn't she accept it? I said she was going to accept it a minute ago. Right, we do need to de-stress ourselves. I love that we've kind of ended up down this weird faith path when it's not really our kind of style. We are going to host a feast. Let's lose some stress. Right, she died anyway. And he's Bori. I think it is fair to say I'm not a highly influential streamer. I have pointed out to Paradox many times that they should be nicer to streamers like me who carry on playing the game all the time, but it doesn't actually seem to yield anything. 95% is the most you can get on any murder stream, on any murder scheme. To be honest, the thing that actually I'd need to do to actually get any kind of traction is actually finally get around to pushing for partner, which I can't really be asked to do. Right, that is done. To push for partner, I'd need to be consistently pulling in 80 viewers, and I'd need to stream 12 days in a month. Like, at least once. And I kind of like my casual Sunday streams. But, if you want me to be influential, then the best thing you can do is spread the word and tell people that you enjoy watching me. And, like, if everyone encourages one person to start watching, like, then it becomes much easier. Right, 3 years. 3 fucking years. I just want the satisfaction of not doing this. You get subs if you're an affiliate. Yeah, I completely agree that it should cap out at 95%. You don't want a situation where you can just make things, say, guaranteed, because you do at least want to always have a chance that it fails. No, it won't reduce time, I don't think, either, because I think the timer caps out as well. Is my husband sleeping around on me? Because that's a good way to die in my runs as well. So yeah, subs you can get for being an affiliate. Yeah, you can have it. 22 months. Nobody convert. Nobody convert. Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Vicky will take me up to 8 days in a month, and then what I'd probably do is if I then hit a point where I was pulling in enough kind of on average followers to actually make partner, I'd probably just do a couple of months where I'd put in the extra few days and just do it that way. Because at that point it'd be worth doing. Why am I overrun by stress again? We'll go reclusive. It's fine. We're almost done. How long, how long, how long? 8 months. And we need a spy master. Not you. You. It's really hard to lose partner once you are partner. Like, if you just stopped streaming at all and weren't putting the effort in, I'm sure they'd take it off of you. But it really is a bit of an arbitrary metric. Like, theoretically, you could turn around, and one of the things that does annoy me is partner tends not to consider your other things. So let's be honest, like, if you want, my hashtag influencer status comes from my Twitter following and my Twitter reach, as much as it comes from doing this. So really, if it made a better calculation of kind of overall thing rather than it just being, if you're a celebrity, you get insta-partnered. You just get partnered. Like, which kind of makes sense, because it is a bit like having a blue tick on Twitter. But I've never bothered to go for a blue tick on Twitter either, because it annoys me. So it's a kind of element of, once you got partner and you're doing it, you keep going, you're fine. But yeah, so kind of really what I need to do is just, if I was making a push for it, I'd need to start pushing and kind of go, right, I need to get 100 viewers. Which I don't, yeah, I think you only need 75 technically. There we go, we're done. Bori! Chat, look at that. Bori conversion without the need to do any kind of actual Unite Africa decision. We have converted the whole of Africa. We have an entire empire of Mali, which is now actually reaching out into there, and if we really wanted to, we could absolutely take a whole bunch of other territory and do that. We'd already got the achievement, Kilmatronics, because old Bori counted. That is awful font placement, and I think we should complain about Paradox about that. In fact, I might screenshot that and go, Paradox, that is awful font placement. It should just consider these to be actively part of it, and then it would actually just spread across the whole thing. Yeah, and the whole decision-making process should be opaque, I think. It shouldn't be just a guaranteed. But there we go. We are Mali. Let's hit the Unite Africa button, just so that everyone gets to see what the flavour of this actually is. For far too long, the spirits of our beautiful homelands have been disrespected by foreign infidels. The time has come to unite the African people under Bori. No one thought it could be done. Yet here I stand, the Sariuna over all of Africa. From the Atlantic coast to the Eastern Ocean, every tribe, Sariuna and Sarkin Gadi now bow to me. The Magadjas tell me that the spirits are pleased. Finally, our lands are liberated. There is still work left to do, but today we shall celebrate. Glory to Africa. You are now known as the Unifier of Africa. Sariuna Darama, the Unifier of Africa, aged 56. Way hey. Doesn't grant us any any new interesting things, but I think we can call that a hell of an achievement.